It will get the players ready in the very best way.
I think it's been a gradual progress with the opposition that we've faced, but certainly this is, on paper anyway, it looks the toughest of the game so far. Bayern Munich will probably look at
the locals that they would want to choose a game like Bayern Munich against Liverpool. Many have travelled thousands of miles to see them in the flesh. You can see by the looks on their faces what it means.
Yeah, I think you sense a totally different atmosphere, like as the teams come out, as what was here against Leicester at the weekend.
The teams in just a second, but this guy has had such an incredible week. Captain of his country now, captain of his club, and it's a new culture, a culture that he will have to design alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold, because when leaders go, and John Aldridge pointed it out before the game, this probably hasn't happened since the late part of the 80s, where somebody like Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush retire. How do you go again as a group of players?
Well, I think obviously transitional period. You know, we've obviously got the two new team that needs to push on, because obviously...
How close to the 11 that starts the season at Stamford Bridge will be the one that you've just seen there before? As mentioned before, 27 players travel.
You know, the front three, you look at Gakpo, he'll drop deep.
Be Harry Kane in a few weeks' time, and amongst the squad there's no sign of Sadio Mane. If you were away from your devices overnight, he has been the latest player to move over. Terrific inside the National Stadium, and we're underway for one of those stand apart teams defending will be in the next 10 months. As Liverpool rain down the left-hand side, as Salah opens up a lot of space for himself. He doesn't need him though. Cody Gakpo in the number 9 position, back amongst the goals. He had a trail of defenders in his wake that he didn't need any assistance from Salah, and inside the first 2 minutes Liverpool have a very early lead.
Well, it's a blistering start from Liverpool, blistering start from Cody Gakpo. He did have the option to try and square it. I thought that was probably the better option, but when you hit the ball like what he's hit it there with his left foot, towering in there, he makes a, you can see here, he picks that position up there. Does that ever so well. We've seen that on occasions where he gets on that half turn. The simple little 1-2. Bayern won't be happy with the defending, it has to be said. Maybe come out the traps a little bit slowly, but take nothing away from Cody Gakpo. This is a quality finish. Absolutely wonderful strike. Got himself across the defence.
Here as Curtis Jones just can't evade the forward run of Bayern Munich, and anywhere would do in the end for Virgil van Dijk, who I thought he was away there, one end to the other though, and it's Kimmich turning provider, Gnabry with the shot. First 10 minutes, but how can they defend this set play, Liverpool? Again, the same corner, all on his own against the post, second opportunity there. There's a bit of room for himself. Still in possession. Good touch from Gnabry. And they're in here with Davis, perhaps. Good footing for box midfield. Of course, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold today, and this is where the attack comes again from Gnabry, who is not going to beat from the corner. Into that front post, and it's Virgil van Dijk who puts the cap on the armband from this week. They've worked ever so hard on these set plays this summer. He wants them to become that team that are unstoppable at set plays, Jurgen Klopp. He had 2 to pick from as Joel Matip, and the big skipper comes in and he elongates that Liverpool lead. You don't get the replay, but Gary will tell you why it was so special.
Oh, here it is. It's a lovely little ball, isn't it? It's an inviting ball for a centre-half to go and attack. What you have to say, it's not the best defending in the world from Bayern Munich. They give Virgil van Dijk just a little bit too much momentum to run into. And if you're 6'5" and you've got the run on somebody, more often than not you're going to get the leap and the jump. I think he can play either or, but from Liverpool's point of view.
Ball over the top there for Gnabry. It was a really smart one as well, and so was the finish. Liverpool looked for the flag for the moment, but the direct ball from Kim Min-jae caught Liverpool out in the position that Bayern Munich have found most fruitful so far today. And their brightest spark, Serge Gnabry, has put Bayern Munich back in the game again.
Well, I think looking from that replay, for me he's offside, but the officials have, well, I wouldn't say they've been the best so far pre-season games here at Singapore. There was questions whether Joel Matip did handle it as well. It was all just a little bit too easy, but in saying that, if you're offside, you're offside.
Alexander-Arnold looks for the same route. You find the cross Cody Gakpo stays in play. Or maybe not. Bayern Munich was the eventual destination. Again, the left-hand side of Bayern Munich is where they see most fruit being born here. And Gnabry has loads of time and loads of space to pick out the man at the back post, Sane, who levels the game up here. And it was just a bit too easy for Bayern Munich there. And just prior to the break, Liverpool with a few more questions to answer at the half-time interval from Jurgen Klopp than perhaps they had after racing into that early lead.
Well, they just get a little bit isolated, Liverpool. I thought Joe Matip maybe should have come across a little bit earlier to try and engage Gnabry. It just allows Gnabry to pick the ball up and run at him. And in doing so, he allows him to go all the way into the 18-yard box. And it's just a case of him getting his head up and picking the right pass. The right pass was to Sane, and the finish was, well, finds the back of the net. And they're back on level.
They've got to go all out for success this year, and we'll see how those changes work out for Liverpool in terms of their shape, and maybe there's a change in formation as well. Szoboszlai has in fact stayed on the pitch, stopped in his tracks by Virgil van Dijk, and he stays down. Play goes on. Kimmich with the shot on goal with the safe hands of Salah here. Szoboszlai joining in as well. Nunes the other side of the defender. Again, the flag didn't come up, but Alistair, though, who limped off at the end of that first half. It's a lovely ball from Tsimikas looking for Mo Salah. Run is also from Harvey Elliott. Smart feet from Diaz. What a finish. Really deserving of that goal, Luis Diaz, for the amount of running and endeavour he's put in since he's come on the pitch. We saw it in Germany. We're seeing it again here in Singapore. The end product is improving week by week and game by game. Luis Diaz gives Liverpool the lead.
Well, it's brilliant because he starts to move off with that diagonal there. Doesn't rest on his laurels. You can see there just in the middle of your picture, bursting into the box. But that's the one, that's the touch that makes it. The ball from Mohamed Salah is really well weighted, bit bouncy, and that touch is absolutely exquisite. And that's the one that sets up what is a simple, really, task to put it past Ulrich in the Bayern Munich goal. Liverpool back on level terms. Manager, I'm sure, will be more than delighted with that really top-class goal. Fans
slotting into that midfield position. It's a quick play from Bayern Munich, and it again was a shot on the goal of Alisson Becker.
And working obviously with the best players and the best coaches.
Didn't he do well there to turn the defender and he's away into the natural habitat that he loves best. He's beat the fullback. What's the decision like here? Bobby Clark, almost. Scenes for them, the youngster on the ball now. Set play and a free header as well coming in. And the header from De Ligt finished off via the push out from the goalkeeper, Alisson Becker. And it's Josip Stanisic, the young defender, who scored the winner in their friendly at the weekend, the Croatian. And it's a bit of a horror show, really, from a defensive point of view for Liverpool.
Well, De Ligt gets a free header, which, when the ball travels this far, it shouldn't happen. And in fairness to Bayern Munich, they work it well. It's a decent header, De Ligt. But then the rebound coming up, Alisson Becker, he's got nowhere really to punch that. There's no way he can punch it wide. And punching it straight out into the middle, Bayern Munich get the benefit. Half-hearted claims for
Clark was asking a lot of Diaz, but then Diaz is equal to it. He's in again here. Darwin Núñez somehow manages to not slot in Liverpool's fourth goal when the goalkeeper was definitely second favourite.
Well, beautifully created again. Diaz showing fantastic feet inside the 18-yard box, tight area, tight control, setting up the opportunity. If anything, he maybe just gets it caught a little bit underneath his feet, Darwin Núñez, and hence the reason why I think he just tries to be maybe a little bit too precise as well. Hits it straight at Ulrich, and goalkeeper very grateful for it, makes the save.
Is De Ligt. Probably their marquee signing this time last year. All All eyes on Bayern Munich will certainly be now their curtain raiser, as Ben Doak proved to him he didn't have quite as much time as he thought there. Mazraoui just caught in no man's land, but Bayern Munich managed to keep possession. Yeah, they play in that Bundesliga champions German Super Cup next weekend. Bayern Munich, they take on Leipzig there. Werder Bremen away as the opening real fixture of their season. Same weekend as Liverpool take on Chelsea. And then, of course, Liverpool have Bournemouth at home before a trip to the much talked about Newcastle United. It's just going to be absolutely no room at all, as there once those first couple of games are underway, to make any kind of mistakes. So much narrative around every team in the Premier League at the moment.
Was Werder Bremen where Naby Keita went?
Darwin Núñez.
Try to do it all on his own there, Darwin Núñez. Gets a little bit of support.
Liverpool being forced backwards. Charles Kwanzaa. Harvey Elliott wanted Joe Gomez a bit closer to him. Doak, clever ball around the corner to Gomez. He wants it back as well, Ben Doak. Still an opportunity. Quick feet and just ran out of pitch in the end, the young Scotsman.
I think the referee's assistant's given a corner, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just appeared to slow it down just in time, didn't he? And got a nick off the defender.
Well, the ball from Joe Gomez was a little bit delayed, hence the reason why he didn't really have an awful lot of space to run into. In fairness, did exceptionally well. Probably the best thing he could have got was a corner.
Costa Tsimikas then, over the set play. We saw Liverpool's danger in that first half. Can't beat the first man. Harvey Elliott finds Bobby Clark. Charles Kwanzaa stayed forward in that left wing position. Luis Diaz inside. Getting clever feet from him. Colombian with a big smile on his face at the same time, but can't find McConnell. McConnell helps his teammate out by winning the ball back, and it needed that challenge from McConnell.
Well, I think Coleman just play acting a little bit. I don't see any like contact that's worthy of, well, maybe he just catches his foot. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Young McConnell, who's only played this position as a holding midfield player in the summer tour. I think he's played there a couple of times for Barry Lutis's team, but he's adapted to that ever so well. Can play with either foot. Normally an attacking midfield player, but he's another one I think that clubs will be inquiring about very soon for maybe a temporary loan. It certainly helps these young players as well, Gary, that they travel as almost a little team amongst themselves. It must be difficult as a youngster on your own, but there's been 5 or 6 of them all together, sharing experiences.
Well, I think off the field it's certainly a comfort, isn't it?
It's a ping from Harvey Elliott on his left foot, looking for Joe Gomez. Might have to go on his own. Gomez couldn't find Núñez. And Bayern Munich just managed to get it clear. We are a couple of minutes away from penalties to settle this game here in Singapore. What a nice ball.
Well, it's easy for us to say here that Joe Gomez should have hit that first time. Darwin Núñez was just ahead of the defenders, but it was a difficult one for Joe Gomez. Takes 2 touches, and in the end it's a difficult ball into the front man, Darwin Núñez. Still a bit of pace to the game, but it does look as if, well,
tired legs creeping in. Diaz tried to make up for giving the ball away. Coman's ball forward. Still trying to find a way. Liverpool get bodies back, led by McConnell. Forced backwards, and Liverpool with all bodies behind the ball at the moment. Koeman is just always the outball for Bayern Munich. It's a clever ball around the corner as well. Danger here at the back post, cleared by Joe Gomez. It was Gravenberch who was just waiting to pull the trigger. As is the nature of these games, and the kind of work that both sides have put in, it will become ragged from time to time. You don't want to be facing Ben Doak in the closing stages of any game. He's got a host of options here. Ben Doak, can he find one of them? Darwin Núñez just drilled at him a bit too much force on the ball in the end, and he can't do anything with it. It goes out harmlessly for a Bayern Munich throw.
Well, again, this is what Ben Doak is all about. Kind of muscles the fullback on that occasion, but then the delivery into the box was, well, he was trying to force it a little bit too much. And this is like the chance at the other end. Liverpool just about do enough and then counter themselves through Tsimikas.
End to end, 4 minutes will be added on. 4 minutes till penalties. You're delaying that work call another 4 minutes just in case there might be something else to talk about here. What an effort on goal that was! That will settle the game in the end from a Bayern Munich point of view. Franz Kratzig, the youngster, wasn't even on the squad sheet in the lead up to this tour, and he can't quite believe that he's managed to win the game for his team in the closing stages probably of this game. A real pot shot on his left foot, and nothing Alisson Becker could do about it.
Well, as goals go to win games, it's quite special for the young man. Again, there may be questions whether he was offside or not, but take nothing away from him. We've seen him come on at substitute. He's played really high up the pitch as a left fullback, and this is a wonderful strike. To beat a goalkeeper like Alisson Becker, I don't think Alisson Becker's quite expecting him to pull the trigger so early. It catches him a little bit off guard.
End to the season, Kratzig's away again. He's got bodies forward for him in Koeman. Koeman fancies an effort himself, pushed away by Alisson Becker. Kratzig's ball into the box, looking for this opportunity now, and another save from Alisson Becker. This time Liverpool team to press like it's the first minute in these closing stages, and that's it. Bayern Munich with the spoils in the end from what was a thoroughly entertaining game. Liverpool opened their scoring after 2 minutes when Cody Gakpo reined away after linking brilliantly with Jota. Virgil van Dijk just made that lead a bit heavier with a second goal, a header from a set play. But all about Kratzig in the end, who's a player that's most used to playing at left back or in central midfield, who stole the show for Bayern Munich, who came back from behind a couple of times during the game. But pre-season or not, here in Singapore, he will have some story to tell. He'll probably want to keep hold of his shirt as well. But it brings to the end the Singapore tour for Liverpool. There will be lots of questions as well as answers, and plenty of upturns as well for Jurgen Klopp, and also things he will want to iron out in time for the start against Chelsea. But a really entertaining game, and one that's finished up here. Bayern Munich 4, Liverpool 3.